Greetings, fellow traders. Bubblehead here, and it's time for the lunchtime market update for Tuesday, March 10th, 2020. I hope everybody is having a great trading day today. And this is brought to you by Positive Trends Research, and everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome. All right, well, let's check and see where we're at the market. So let's pull up the weekly chart here. So we got a little bit of a little pump last night in the futures as we actually hit the limit up on the move back up in the S&P futures. We'll take a look at those in a second. But getting a little bit of a rally here. We're holding the weekly lows, the June 2019 lows right now. So let's see if that continues to hold. Going into the rest of this week. It's only Tuesday, so we'll see here. So far, a Harami day so far. Held yesterday's lows, a little bit of a tweezer bottom. Let's see if that gets any strength into the close today here on the SPX. Before we take a look at the price action here, let's take a look at the S&P futures. So you see with the S&P futures yesterday, we had a huge rally overnight, right? So let's take a look at this here. We mentioned this morning. Just give me one second. The data pulled up here. All right, there we go. So we had a huge run up last night, right? So basically on the White House stimulus plan for Corona, and it basically came back into the day, and we broke down today, and they basically, the Senate was saying it was going to take like at least a week, before them to even really start to consider it, and so that kind of brought the market down a little bit here, and then we got a little bit of a rally off the lows here today, and are still below its initial 15 levels right here. So let's take a look at the SPX and see how that's looking intraday. Okay, so SPX, obviously same stuff right here. We broke down to the 15-hour below, got a lower here. We're basically right at yesterday's lows here on the SPX where we got a bounce. And then let's take a look at SPY. SPY was good. We caught a nice trade on this one short here today. I really like the we congested a little bit at the open. We had some kind of big moves right here. Got a nice little bear flag on the shorter term time frames for a nice push down today. That was great. So now we're just kind of monitoring this, see if we can put together any sort of triangulation type stuff here intraday to see if we can get another move out of the day. Maybe this will turn into like a massive bear pennant into the rest of the day. So good stuff there. So what else we got going on today? So earnings, we had Stitch Fix. Had some rough earnings yesterday. They tried to rally a little bit in the pre-market. Now they're chopping around within their 15-hour range right now. We had Dick's Sporting Goods today. Again, they had some pretty positive stuff that they talked about on their conference call, but the market really didn't care, so it was just kind of going down anyway. It must stink when you're a CEO. You're like, yeah, everything's good, earnings are good, everything's going well, and then the market just kind of flushes while you're having your conference call. It's like, why is my stock going down? But anyway, so we had inside 15 right here. We stayed below the 15 orb and continued to flush down again, sort of bounced off of its aftermarket lows there from yesterday. What else we got? So we have another one that's kind of interesting is White House kind of came out and said that they're going to help out the airline industries, right? So we saw a big pop right there, but that was kind of muted. We saw them talking about we're going to help out the cruise industries, right? And that had a big pop right now, but it's still in the 15 orb range right here. It's basically just a quick short squeeze about it. And so let's see what it does right here. Probably chop around for a little bit, and we'll look for some setups on these. These have been pretty good go-to moves right here, but golly, with Carnival just basically in the 20s right now, it wouldn't surprise me if we got to 10 before too long on that one. So anyway, let's take a look here, but we'll keep an eye on it, right? It all just depends on how it holds its levels. It's actually at a pretty key monthly level right now if it holds yesterday's low. So let's see if we can continue to do that. Let's take a look at a couple requests here. We got Zoom. Zoom's still struggling, right? If we go to the daily chart here. Big inside day so far on Zoom. Again, it's still holding this macro pivot lower, but like we talked about last night on the live stream, right? Keep an eye on that ADMA here on the daily chart, right? We want to make sure that we're above that before we get super bullish on it. But it has been a Corona play. Facebook is green today, which is pretty interesting compared to yesterday. So we had a little doji up right here. So it had a pretty good push at the open, and then a little bit of a move right here. But what we saw here was a rising wedge, and that gave a nice move down on Facebook. So we pointed that out on our live stream this morning. Microsoft has been another one that a lot of folks have been asking about. This is it's just kind of doing its Microsoft thing right now. It's not really a high beta name. It is kind of hanging in there. There's a big congestion zone down here. We have this macro channel that we're below, but it's trying to work its way up a little bit. It's just really, really complex right now. Keep it simple. We're below the trend line. We're below the 8MA, so bearish until proven otherwise on Microsoft. And then a couple other ones that were interesting. We pointed out today on the live stream. Boeing. So Boeing's interesting, right? It's still hanging out below this macro channel right here. So we were hoping for a little bit of a bounce on it, but right now it's just kind of working its way down. Triangle down. It's triangulating right now. So keep an eye on Boeing here intraday, and then Twitter. Let's take a look here. Twitter is back within its 15-order range. Gave a little bit of a push this morning. Upper shadow right here. Couldn't get over yesterday's highs. Could barely get over the pre-market levels, and now it's within its 15-order range. So it's good stuff, guys. I hope everybody has a great rest of your trading day. Stay healthy out there, and we'll see you guys at the market wrap at the close, and hopefully on the live stream tonight. And remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And I'll talk to you soon.